Let's get started in a comfortable seated position, closing your eyes for a moment and relaxing your hands on your knees or in your lap. Just taking a moment to connect with your practice, feeling the ground beneath you. And taking a moment to settle into today's practice. Allowing your shoulders to sink down away from your ears. And feeling your natural breath as it flows in and as it flows out. Just letting it be, not forcing it. Throughout this practice, we'll breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Taking this time to clear your mind of any thoughts or any worries. And take a couple more rounds of breath here. And you can softly begin to open your eyes. And we'll inhale the right arm up, bring it over to that left ear, and then pull your right ear to your right shoulder and extend your left arm, maybe hovering the fingers above the ground. And then you can release. We'll inhale the left arm up and over to that right ear, bringing the left ear to left shoulder and extending our right hand out, hovering those fingers. And then you can bring the hand to the back of the head, pulling your chin towards your chest. And then release. We'll inhale the arms up and overhead, and then exhale and do a spinal twist, dropping the right hand to the base of the spine, the left hand to the right knee, and twist, gazing over that right shoulder, elongating your spine, and dropping your shoulders. We'll inhale back to center and twist in the opposite direction. Gazing over that left shoulder, relaxing your shoulders away from your ears. And then come back to center. We'll inhale the arms up and then drop the right one down and fold over that right side. Maybe coming onto your forearms. And then back to center and drop the left arm down, folding into that left side. And then you can come back to center and we'll exhale and fold over our legs. Maybe walking your fingers out. Walk your fingers out to the right. And then out towards the left. And back to center. And then you can come onto all fours in a tabletop position, having your knees right under your hips, your hands right under your shoulders. And we'll start with a couple cat and cows. Inhaling, dropping the belly, raising the gaze for cow, And then exhaling, rounding the spine and tucking the chin for cat. Inhaling and exhaling. And do a couple more rounds at your own pace. Maybe moving faster or maybe moving slower, whichever you prefer. And then you can come back to center. We'll tuck the back toes and lift up into your downward facing dog. First downward facing dog of the practice. Maybe bending your knees, maybe pedaling your feet. And then we'll come high to the toes, bend the knees, look forward, make your way to the front of your mat. Inhaling to a flat back, and then exhaling to fold. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows, rocking from side to side, shaking your head yes, nodding it no. And then you can release the hands and root to rise all the way up, palms to touch, and exhale, hands to heart center, meeting in Tadasana. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale to fold. Inhaling to a flat back. And then exhale, make your way through your flow, meeting in a downward facing dog. Staying here for 5 deep breaths. We'll inhale the right leg up, bend the knee, and step it between your hands, and inhale to a high lunge. Gazing between your fingertips, dropping your shoulders back. And then we'll open the left hand out towards the back of the room. Maybe the gaze follows. And then back to center. We'll release the hands down to the ground. Step back in your plank and move through your flow, meeting in a downward facing dog. From here, we'll inhale the left leg up, bend the knee, step it between the hands, coming to your high lunge on the left side. And then open that right hand up towards the back of the room. Maybe your gaze follows. And we'll come back to center. Release the hands to the ground. Step back in your plank and lower down. Inhaling to upward dog or cobra. Exhaling to downward facing dog. You can come high to your toes, bend the knees, look forward, make your way to the front of the mat, meeting in a forward fold. Inhaling to a flat back, and then exhaling to fold. From here, we're going to go right into chair pose. So inhale your arms up, sit your hips back, gazing between your fingertips. And then come to the toes on your right foot, lifting your heel up. cross your right leg around your left leg, and then your right arm's going to swing underneath your left arm for eagle pose. Finding a focal point. And then you can slowly start to stand, unwind the hands, maybe shake out the legs, and then inhale your arms up and overhead, and exhale to fold. Inhaling to a flat back, and exhale, make your way through your flow, meeting in a downward facing dog. You can come high to the toes, bend the knees, look forward, make your way to the front of your mat. Inhaling to a flat back, exhaling to fold, and then we'll inhale to chair pose. Coming on to the left toes, we'll bring the left foot around the right leg and the left hand underneath the right hand. Maybe sitting a little bit lower. And then slowly coming to stand, shaking it all out. And then inhaling the arms up and overhead, and exhaling to fold. We'll inhale to a flat back, and then exhale, make your way through your flow, meeting in a downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up, bend the knee, and step it to the outside of your right hand. We'll drop the back knee down, and we'll come into lizard's pose. So either staying on your hands or coming down on your forearms. Maybe opening up your right hip. Staying here for a couple of deep breaths. You're welcome to stay right where you are, or you can reach back with your right hand to grab that left foot and pull it in close. You can release the left leg down, release the right hand, step back into your plank, and move through your flow, meeting in a downward facing dog. We'll inhale the left leg up, bend the knee, and step it to the outside of that left hand, setting your right knee down, and coming into your lizard's pose on the left side. Staying here for a couple deep breaths. And if you want, you can reach back with that left hand to grab the foot, hugging it in close. Maybe noticing if this side feels any different than the first side. And you can slowly release the right leg, release the left hand, step back in your plank, and move through your flow, meeting in a downward facing dog. We'll inhale the right leg up, bend the knee, step it between your hands. From here, we're going to come into a standing split. So stepping into your right leg, lifting your left leg high. And then come all the way to standing. We'll hug that left knee in towards our chest. Maybe out towards the left side. And then maybe you come into tree pose, bringing that left foot to maybe the inner thigh. Maybe your hands to heart center. Or feel free to grow your branches out. You can slowly release the left leg. Maybe shake out the feet, the legs. And then when you're ready, inhale the arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhaling to a flat back. And then exhale, make your way through your flow, meeting in a downward facing dog. We'll inhale the left leg up, bend the knee, and step it between your hands. We'll come into that standing split on the left side. And then you can start to come to standing, hugging the right knee in towards the chest. Maybe out towards the right side. Maybe your gaze comes towards the left. And then maybe you come into tree pose, bringing your hands to heart center or growing your branches out, finding a focal point. And then releasing, shaking out the legs, maybe shaking out the arms. And from here we'll come into half lotus. So we'll bring the right ankle on top of that left thigh. Maybe one hand to the heart to start. Maybe you sit back in a chair, or maybe you go all the way down to the floor. And you can slowly start to make your way towards standing. Release the right leg, shake out the legs if necessary, and we'll change sides. Grounding the right leg, placing the left ankle on top of that right thigh, sitting down, maybe going all the way to the floor, and maybe both hands come to heart center. And slowly make your way to standing. Shake out the legs. And then from here, we'll come into a wide-legged stance. So having your feet parallel, your ankles in one line. Bring your hands to your hips. And start to lead with your chest towards the ground, maybe dropping your hands when you get there, or you're welcome to interlace the fingers behind the back, allowing gravity to take your hands. And if your hands are behind your back, you can release them. We'll walk them over towards the right side, and maybe you grab your right ankle with your left hand, and then peek underneath that right armpit. And back to center, and we'll switch sides, maybe grabbing the ankle with your right hand, peeking under that left armpit. And then you can come back to center. We'll bend into that right knee, extending the left leg long, lifting those toes off the ground, allowing your chest to be open. And then we'll go over towards the left side, extending the right foot, dropping your shoulders down. And maybe you go back and forth a couple times. Maybe you bring your hands off the floor. And then we'll come back to center, back to that forward fold, and walk your feet in a little closer, but like farther than hip width distance apart. We'll come into a yogi squat, bringing your hands to heart center, your elbows to the insides of your knees, and relax your shoulders. Activating your glutes here. And from here, you're welcome to try out crow pose by putting your hands on the ground. Maybe your knees come to your triceps, and maybe you stay here, or maybe you begin to lift one foot, maybe the other foot. Feel free to play here. And when you're ready, meeting back in a yogi squat. And once you get there, we'll drop the right hand to the ground, extend the left arm up. Try to pull that right shoulder away from your ear. And then release the left arm and raise that right arm up. Again, releasing the left shoulder from the ear. And then you can come back to center. We'll drop our knees to the ground and then walk out into puppy pose, dropping your chin to the ground. Your hips stay high and gazing past your fingertips. And then you can come all the way to the ground. And we'll extend our arms out long in front of us, coming into locust pose. So when you're ready, inhaling your arms up, hovering them above the ground. And releasing, maybe releasing your head to the ground. And we'll do that one more time. Inhaling the arms up, Maybe you inhale the legs and the thighs up too. And then slowly release. Release your head to the ground. And then we'll come into Sphinx pose, bringing your forearms to the ground, your elbows right under your shoulders. And inhale, your heart open, slight back bend. And then you can release. Maybe you release your head to the ground. And then we'll come back to that Sphinx pose. And we're going to bring the right knee towards the right elbow. And then grab that knee with your left hand. And then we'll extend our right arm out towards the right, coming down onto our backs. Gazing over those right fingertips. And you can come back to center. Release the right leg back to that Sphinx pose. And then we'll bend the left knee, bringing it close towards that left elbow. Grab it with your right hand, and then we'll extend the left arm out. Gazing over the left fingertips. This helps to relieve any tension in the back. And you can come back to center. And then we'll roll onto our backs. And we'll come into bridge pose. So bringing the soles of the feet to the ground, knees pointing up towards the sky. And when you're ready, inhaling the hips up, maybe readjusting your shoulders so they're underneath you. And maybe interlacing your fingers underneath your back. You can slowly release your hips back down to the ground. And then we'll roll up to a seated position. We'll extend our legs out wide. Allow your spine to be straight. Maybe you grab onto your toes, or maybe you just fold between your legs. Whichever is more comfortable for you. Pulling your chest towards the floor. Slowly releasing, coming up. We'll grab the right big toe with our peace fingers, and then extend the left arm up and over for a nice side body stretch. Breathing into the pose. You can come back to center, and we'll grab the left big toe with the peace fingers, inhaling the right arm up and over. And you can come back to center. We'll bring our feet together like butterfly pose. And maybe grab onto the toes and open your feet like you're opening a book, allowing your chest to be open, your spine to be straight, and then fold over your legs, keeping your spine straight. You can slowly come up, and we'll just bring our feet out a little bit farther so it forms like a diamond shape. And then again, grab the toes and begin to fold, relaxing your shoulders. Slowly come up. We'll release the legs down long and then come all the way onto your backs. We'll hug that right knee in towards the chest and release. Hug that left knee in towards the chest. And then release. And you can go ahead and hug both knees in towards your chest. And we'll drop the left foot to the ground and bring the right ankle on top of that left thigh. Interlace your fingers behind the thigh. And then release your head and your shoulders back down to the ground. Flexing your toes. You're welcome to close your eyes here, as we'll be here for a couple deep breaths. You're welcome to extend your left leg long as well, whichever feels better for you. From here, you can release the left foot, and then we'll reach with our left hand to grab the ankle of the left foot and allow your knees to fall to the right. Maybe your right arm goes above your head. And you can begin to release. Release both feet to the floor, and we'll switch sides, bringing that left foot on top of the right thigh, interlacing your fingers behind the thigh, and then relaxing your shoulders and your head back down to the ground. Flexing your toes. Maybe noticing if this side feels different than the first side. We'll release the right foot down to the ground. Grab that ankle with your right hand And then drop the knees towards the left, maybe extending your left arm above the head. You can bring the feet back to center, releasing them. And from here we'll come into happy baby, grabbing the outsides of the feet, the elbows and the insides of the knees, maybe rolling from side to side. Maybe extending one leg or both legs. And when you are ready, you can slowly release your legs down to the ground, coming into Shavasana, the final pose of this practice. Maybe allowing your feet or your legs to be mat width distance apart, your arms away from your body, and allowing your fingers to naturally curl. Closing your eyes if they aren't already. And slowing your heart rate down, allowing your breath to return back to normal. Maybe noticing how you feel after this practice. Maybe noticing the ground as it supports you. And feeling the rising and the falling of the belly and the chest. The expansion on the inhales and the contraction on the exhales. Inhaling, expanding, exhaling, letting go. Allowing your body to completely relax as if it were melting into the mat. Releasing any tension in the body. Maybe it's in the back or the shoulders. Maybe the neck or the head. Maybe the jaw or in between the eyebrows. Just let it go. Noticing any sensations you might be feeling. Maybe begin to deepen your breath. And you're welcome to stay right where you are, where you can begin to reawaken the body, reawaken the mind. Maybe wiggling the fingers and the toes. And maybe doing a good morning stretch, reaching your hands and your feet in opposite directions. And whenever you feel ready, rolling onto one side of your body, keeping your eyes closed. And slowly making your way to a comfortable seated position. Bringing the hands to heart center. And taking a few breaths to round out this practice today. Finding this time to appreciate yourself for showing up on the mat today. Maybe starting or ending your day with some mental clarity. And may all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. And may all beings be free from any suffering. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.